is up, bros? Welcome to the All Bros Podcast. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Jonathan.
And for the first time, and I can't remember how long, we are recording in the same freaking room, bro.
I mean, it's been a year. It's been close. I think we're 1 month off from being a year, so it's been too long.
It's been way too long. But we are super excited to finally be in the same room once again and be recording like this. So, freaking pumped. Anyway, we did not change the intro like we said we were going to.
Oh, shit.
Whatever, one more week and then we'll change it. But anyway, we are a couple...
Oh, so I see how it is. You're going to make me be the tester for the new intro next week, you asshole. I see how it is.
I regret nothing.
Yeah, you dick.
Fine, you want to come up with one on the spot?
No.
Yeah, didn't think so, bitch.
You know how I am when I'm put under pressure. I do not perform well.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we're going to write a script out. Then you have all week to freaking practice it.
I'll be practicing it in the mirror every single morning before work.
All right. Well, just because I can, we are a couple of aspiring filmmakers that love to watch and critique movies, but also enjoy a lot of bit of the nerd life. This week on the podcast in 4K Spotlight, we're going to be talking about the Batman 4K that's going to be coming out. And in Through the Wall, we have one new trailer for a Disney Plus series that I am so excited about.
As am I, even though I don't love this property as much as Caleb does.
Oh, dude, I have thoughts, but
he has many thoughts, I feel.
Not too many, too many.
Okay.
Like, other than it being like great and amazing, but just like some minor thoughts. But I think we'll get into it.
Okay.
But then for our headliner this week, we will be discussing Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. The crazy-ass multiversal movie.
Wow.
But it was so good.
It was really good.
Anyway, spoilers. Anyway, well, before we spoil anything else, let's say we get into it.
Let's do it.
Need motivation? Angry Dad Podcast. Trying to jumpstart your life? Angry Dad Podcast. You want help getting off the couch? Angry Dad Podcast. You need a verbal kick in the ass? Angry Dad Podcast. You want to hear from somebody who's been through it all? Angry Dad Podcast. I am here for you. You can find me on all podcast platforms.
Alrighty, first up in 4K Spotlight. Like I said, we will be discussing the Batman's 4K release. So, Rose, would you like to tell everyone about this?
I would love to. So, surprising no one, there's going to be a Best Buy exclusive Steelbook, which, did I already pre-order it? Yes, I did. And then we'll just have a regular 4K release along with a regular Blu-ray release. We'll also... they also have a the Batman 4K gift set that will be a Walmart exclusive, but it does not say what's in it. So, thanks Walmart for not even telling us what your exclusive is. It's Walmart for you. And then the Target exclusive, which I hate that Target, when they do exclusives, they only just do bare bones Blu-ray releases. They don't do 4K releases if it's their exclusive. I think that's stupid, but whatever. You get exclusive content. So you get 15 minutes bonus features and an exclusive cover art.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Lame.
Steelbook's cooler. But,
so what's the cover?
So that's the cover for the Target Blu-ray, and then
so just the Batman head with the Batman logo inside it.
Yeah, and then the regular Blu-ray cover, just plain Blu-ray, is that one.
Not a big fan of either of those.
That's fair. The 4K is cool. I'll show you the 4K. Well, I should probably show you the Steelbook too. So this is the Steelbook.
That's sick.
Right? Oh, I love it so much.
For those of you listening, because I just now realized that we're talking about pictures. You said that's a Steelbook?
Yeah, that's the Best Buy Steelbook.
Okay, the Steelbook is it looks like a question mark at first glance, but then you can see Batman's face within it, and it's kind of like blocking out a light to create that effect, and it looks super dope.
And then that's the regular 4K cover. So just a close up on his face.
And that one's lame.
Yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, I feel the Steelbook wins.
Yeah, Steelbook definitely wins.
Oh, but it turns out also the original Candyman comes out on 4K too.
Ooh.
This Tuesday.
Which, for those of you that don't know what we've been doing all week, we've just been knocking out a shit ton of movies.
How many
knocked
have
out
we graded?
a lot. So we've knocked out, since our last episode, which was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, we have knocked out Food Fight, Cheaper by the Dozen 2022, Slacks, that was recommended to us by Brucker over at Autopsy of a Horror Movie. We knocked out Top Gun, Dear Evan Hansen. We don't have a score for that one yet, just because Rose wants to rewatch it, because my child is adorable and got in the way.
It's true. She is adorable, and that's completely fine. She got in the way because she's just, it's adorable. So she gets a pass every single time.
Yeah, we knocked out the new Candyman. We also knocked out Chaos Walking, I Want You Back, Chippendale Rescue Rangers we watched today, which we could maybe do an episode on, depending on, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And then we just got done watching Being the Ricardos. And then on top of that, we freaking watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. So we've been freaking busy with movies. We knocked out a ton.
Yeah, we really have.
That's insane. But anyway.
I feel next time I'm out here, we should try to beat that record. How many is that?
Excellent question. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11.
Holy shit. Okay, so we at least got to get 12. I think we can do it.
Yep.
Easy.
Yeah, well, you also got to think, depending on when we're done with this, we could probably knock one out. And then depending on what time we wake up tomorrow, we could probably knock one out, depending on when we have to get to the airport.
Fair enough. Man has a point.
Fun stuff. Anyway, anything else in 4K, or is that it?
No, that was it.
Nice. All right, moving on to Through the Wall. We got our very first look at She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. And I will say, I do feel like this trailer was kind of forced out. Because I think something got released where it was the announcement date of when it was going to be coming out and everything. I think that got leaked.
Oh, shit.
And so I think this is kind of a preemptive, oh shit, before it goes viral.
So leading into what we think about the effects, do you feel maybe that's why the CGI doesn't look fully done?
That is exactly why I think the CGI isn't fully done.
Okay.
Which, spoiler alert, that's the only issue I have with this trailer.
Same here. This show looks like a freaking blast, and I can't wait to see it.
It looks super cool. It does look like they're going to be following pretty true to the source material with She-Hulk. The only difference between, I think I might have explained it way back when, but She-Hulk, her family or her parents were lawyers and were basically prosecuting some mafia dude who had them killed, but she was in the car with them, and so the car crashed, which we do see a car crash in the trailer. Well, I'm assuming she's by herself. She might not be. Who knows? Maybe it's a flashback, and maybe it's she's been dealing with this for a long time, or I don't know. Anyway, so her parents are killed. She is on the verge of dying, needs a blood transfusion to survive. and the only living relative that she has that is the same blood type is Banner.
Oh, okay.
And so he transfuses the blood, and then he's just like, okay, like, I don't know what the hell this is going to do, but good luck. And so
really hope we get that scene.
Yeah, so he does it, is able to, like, watch after her for a minute, and he's like, okay, cool. Deuces out to go do something, like probably Hulk out or whatever. And then she wakes up, and, like, the people are coming back to get her, basically finish the job. And then she Hulks out and kicks their ass.
I love it.
Yeah, so, I mean, it kind of seems like that's the route that they're going to take in some way, shape, or form. It does look like there's a car crash in the trailer. It's like a super quick moment.
Yeah.
But the rest of the time, it is Smart Hulk and
Caleb's
Jennifer.
favorite.
Dude, I cannot. No. I'm so pissed off at that. You have no idea.
Oh, I think
maybe that's my other problem. My other problem is that Smart Hulk is going to be in it, and honestly, I hope he's not in it a lot.
I think everyone, even if they've only listened to this show for like a little amount of time that we've had this out, I'm sure everyone knows how much you hate Smart Hulk in the MCU.
Yeah, you have no freaking clue, people. Anyway, it looks like she is going to be the face of a new, like, superhero law firm.
Yeah, it did
which
look like that.
Looks like it's going to be sick. I am highly anticipating a Matt Murdock cameo in this at some point.
Yeah.
Hopefully, fingers freaking crossed for that.
Speaking of Matt Murdock, I think it was confirmed today. What's today's date? The 20th?
Yeah.
That Disney, they are actually bringing Daredevil back for Disney Plus.
Yes!
And it's not, as far from what I've read, it's not a reboot. It's a continuation for Charlie Cox.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes!
That's going to be awesome. Even though I've never seen Daredevil, it's going to be awesome.
You need to watch. That's a good one. That's like just a solid
Dude,
show.
I'm so behind on Marvel shows. Like I told Caleb, and he wants to kill me for it. I still haven't even watched one episode of Moon Knight.
Dude.
I know. Shut up.
Anyway, so yeah, we get a look at what's his name, Emil Blonsky.
I think so. I think that's his name.
Yeah. So we get our first look at the Abomination in the show. Looks great.
So it's so weird seeing him back in human form since we haven't seen that since 2008.
Yeah. So that just kind of like spits out that, or kind of gives or reveals that he is in control somewhat of Abomination.
I think,
Dude, if they turn Abomination into what the Hulk should be, I'm going to be pissed. Because this is like these are the two things that I'm like that come to mind. When I saw the Abomination, like, first off, he has like this super cocky attitude, like in human form, or he's just kind of like leaning back in his chair, kind of like has like that like no shit's given at it like kind of vibe to him, and then he turns into Abomination and he's like big and like hulking and whatever. You don't see too much of Abomination.
No.
But it kind of made me remember in Shang-Chi, freaking Wong was ripping him a new ass for like not following like this script that they had.
That's true.
So, and he was kind of like, he was kind of walking around like with like his tail between his legs. So it kind of makes me think that Abomination is a little bit more, that it doesn't give me the same vibes. So it makes me feel like Abomination and Emil Blonsky are two different people in this. And that pisses me off because they're not. Like,
oh shit.
Like, that's exactly how freaking Hulk should be, but kind of like opposite.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
But no, they're continuing with this stupid Smart Hulk bullshit. But whatever. Like, I'm freaking done with MCU Hulk. I am putting all my eggs in the MCU She-Hulk basket now.
I never thought I'd hear Caleb give up on Hulk.
Yeah. No, MCU Hulk.
Oh,
Hulk
not just Hulk.
Hulk and MCU Hulk are not the same thing.
Shit.
But anyway, like, we get to see Banner kind of training, or not really training, just trying to trigger Jennifer's transformation into She-Hulk. And he does successfully, and it's like super great how he does that. And he's like, "Yeah, good job." And then she like goes and rips the door off of the cage, and he's like, "Wait." And then we like see like a bunch of training montages with the two of them, which looks awesome.
Oh yeah, looks amazing.
The only issue that I have right now is her face. It looks very CGI, but I think because of my theory that this came out because of that leak, that the effects are just not done yet. Hopefully they are, because Hulk looks amazing.
Oh yeah.
Abomination looked great, just like with the little bit that we saw. It's just Jennifer that looks a little funky. So I'm pretty sure that they just kind of saved her for last. Because obviously I'm assuming we're going to get a lot of She-Hulk in this.
I mean, I would hope so.
Yeah. So it seems like they're going very comic accurate with her.
That's good to hear.
Giving her like a more flirtatious personality, with like Jennifer Walters pre-She-Hulk was not very like confident in herself, and so she would like dress very conservatively,
Okay.
I'll say. And when She-Hulk like started coming out, like that gave her like a shit ton of confidence, so she started wearing clothes that were a little bit more revealing, showed off her figure a bit more and everything. And so it kind of seems like that's the route that they're taking, because like her friends are like super impressed, like, "Whoa, you look great, like check out your ass." And I'm like, okay, like,
it's not bad,
digging it so far. But overall the design for She-Hulk, I haven't gotten like a super close look of her suit yet, or we kind of did a little bit.
Yeah, but it was still kind of fast.
Yeah, it was like really fast, so we didn't get like a full view, but it looks really good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I hardly know like anything about the She-Hulk comics, but from what you've shown me, yeah, it looks very comic accurate.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. The story looks like it's going to be killer. It got the tagline, it's going to be called She-Hulk Attorney at Law, which, like, oh, chef's kiss.
I also love the well, I don't know if this is the tagline, the like saying that goes with it. It says, "You'll like her when she's angry."
Yep.
Yeah. I like that.
Everyone and their mother, like, I've seen so many TikToks and jokes about it now, about like the big woman like kink. And just like how everyone like sees the clip of her at the end, like basically picking up her date and like walking into the other room, and everyone's just like, yes. And it's hilarious, because like everything about that is enhanced. Like, it's kind of funny, like Banner is like talking about the things that trigger a transformation, and things that you kind of need to keep like in control to basically keep the green side at bay.
Yeah.
And starts listing all this stuff off, and she's like, so basically just don't be a woman. Because it's triggered by like just heightened feelings and everything. And so she's just like, well, shit. And so we get to see like a little bit of that. Like, it does heighten her feelings. Like, when she gets, I think it's like her transformations are triggered like when she's upset, angry, just like any like heightened state.
Well, freaking one of the tests that Banner puts her through is either her hulking out or a wall crushing her to death.
Yeah.
So,
dude, it kind of makes you like realize maybe Banner's not that good of a scientist.
Yep. Yeah, no offense, Banner, but I need to work on it a little bit.
Like, I know that he knew that she could. I'm assuming he knows that she can transform.
I hope so.
Yeah, like, I don't think he would put her in that room unless she had already transformed before. I don't think this is his way of testing if she can transform. Because that, like, if it is, then he's a freaking psycho.
Yeah, that's
like, here, we're gonna test to see if you can transform.
That's a little too far, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel.
Like, I think it's something that he needs to like witness for himself and be like, okay, cool. Now we're gonna work on this, and so that makes sense if he tries pulling that shit off.
Yeah.
But if he just throws her in there because he's like, I think you can transform. Then yeah, Banner's a freaking psycho.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. Other than the CGI and Smart Hulk, which everyone knows that I hate.
I really don't have a lot of problems with Smart Hulk, so that's just me. I don't love the character Hulk as much as Caleb does.
I will fight you.
I know you will.
But yeah, I'm really freaking excited for this show and everything that's going to come from it. And if you don't freaking watch it, I will throw a bitch fit.
This will be the... Oh, wait. Okay, what shows have I watched every week? Of course, Hawkeye. I was on top of that show every week. Shocker.
What about WandaVision?
Yeah, I was there with WandaVision. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I felt like 2 episodes behind before the finale.
That's fine.
Loki... I think I was like 4 or 5 episodes behind before the finale.
Shit, dude.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like I've told you before, I didn't love Loki like everyone else did. I'm sorry to say.
Well, you're entitled to your wrong opinion.
Wow. It kind of hurts me a little that Loki's like the #1 most watched MCU show. And I'm just like, should be... Honestly, I feel, in my own opinion, that it should be WandaVision. But that's just me. And I feel that's ballsy me saying that because, you know, Hawkeye is a thing.
Right. Well, Hawkeye was good. I think
I think what you're searching for is great.
I think everyone's obsession with Loki is what it introduced to the MCU.
That's fair. I mean, Hawkeye was very much so just a grounded show, but I think that's what I love most about it, and you know, because it's Hawkeye.
Yeah. It was great. It was like no issues with that show.
Followed the comics very well, except for, I mean, you know, what they changed of Clint Barton in the MCU.
Yeah.
Other than that, it followed Matt Fraction's comic very well, I feel. Well,
yeah, I think it did a good job. The only thing I maybe didn't care for was how they overpowered Kingpin.
That's fair.
They kind of like he got hit by a car.
True.
Come on,
it's very true.
Yeah. Other than that, love the show. No issues, but I think that's the obsession with Loki. What Loki opened the door for, with the multiverse and everything, I think that just changed the game.
That's fair. No, that is absolutely fair.
Yeah, because up till that point, like we've heard about variants, and the only variant that we'd seen was Sylvie at the time, and so I think it's just breaking of the multiverse. I think that's what, like, everyone's just like, whoa, like, you know what this means? And, like, all the other crazy shit that's been happening within the MCU regarding the multiverse.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Yeah. But I really hope that this show, She-Hulk, stays grounded. Like, obviously within the realm that Hulk can be.
Yeah.
But I don't want this to be like some crazy, like, oh, he's fighting a multiversal threat, which it doesn't seem like he's going to. It looks like we're getting a live-action Frogman.
Okay.
Which is a Hulk villain, I think. It's either Frogman or Leapfrog. I forget what.
I think like what I saw, it's Frogman.
It's Frogman?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like we're getting a live-action version of him. I would love to see the leader.
Oh,
Finally.
that would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be sick. So, I'm pumped. I'm pumped. And I would love to see She-Hulk and Abomination duke it out. I would like to see Hulk
Good luck.
get a rematch. But I'm not counting on it. I don't want... I chose my words very carefully. I do not want Smart Hulk to fight Abomination. I don't want Banner to fight Abomination. I want Hulk to fight Abomination. And if he doesn't, She-Hulk. She-Hulk has to.
Fair enough.
Otherwise, I'm going to be beyond pissed.
Oh, shit.
But anyway. Yeah, so... super excited for She-Hulk. Excitement level?
I'm at an 8.
I'm at like an 8.5. Just not quite at a 9, but just a little bit higher.
Nice. I mean, it makes sense. You know.
Yeah, super pumped. Super pumped. Can't wait to see more of this. And that comes out in August?
Yeah, August 17th, I think, is when the first episode comes out.
Nice, only a few months away.
Yeah.
Alright, well, that's all we had for news. So let's say we get into this week's headliner.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, for this week's headliner, we will be breaking down everything, everywhere, all at once. This is a multiversal movie that came out, I want to say a few weeks ago.
Yeah, March 25th.
Oh, it's been out for a while.
It didn't go wide. So it had a limited release. Started having a limited release at the beginning of March, and then it didn't go wide until March 25th. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Sorry, it had a limited theatrical release in the U.S. on March 25th, but didn't go wide until April 8th.
Alright. So, if you're new to our rating system, we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually score to come to a final Olbros letter grade. The 8 categories that we score are story, writing, acting, character development, effects, music, costumes, and then we give it our own personal grade at the very end. All of those numbers get magically added up and spat through our algorithm and give us a letter grade for the movie. And then we'll compare it to all the other movies of that rating at the very end. So, without further ado, if you have not seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, we highly recommend that you go see it, because Rose is about to spoil the entire freaking movie for you. So you have been properly warned. So if you listen past this point, that's on you.
Yeah. So this movie is split into 3 different parts, and that is how Wikipedia splits up the plot. So that is how I will be reading the plot.
Fair enough.
So, Part 1, Everything. Evelyn Wong is a Chinese-American woman who runs a struggling laundromat with her husband, Waymond. Tensions are high due to the laundromat being audited by the IRS. Additionally, Waymond is trying to give Evelyn divorce papers, and Evelyn's demanding father Gong has just arrived from China, and Evelyn's daughter Joy has been trying to get her mother to accept her girlfriend Becky. While at the IRS building for a meeting with IRS Inspector, wow, I'm gonna butcher her name. Was it Deirdre? Deidre, wow. Deidre, oh my god, that's a long last name. Berda?
Bobidra?
Deidre
Bobidra?
Bobidra? Oh god.
That's so stupid.
Deidre Bobidra Wayman's personality changes when his body is briefly taken over by Alpha Wayman, a version of Wayman from the Alpha Universe, aka Alphaverse. Alpha Wayman explains to Evelyn that many parallel universes exist since every choice made creates a new universe. The people of the Alphaverse, led by the late Alpha Evelyn, developed verse-jumping technology that allows people to access the skills, memories, and bodies of their parallel universe counterparts by fulfilling specific conditions. Alpha Wayman explains that the multiverse is being threatened by Jobu Tapaki, formerly Alpha Joy. Her mind was splintered after Alpha Evelyn pushed her to extensively verse jump, leading her mind to overload and fracture across the multiverse. Jobu Tapaki now experiences all universes at once and can verse jump and manipulate matter at will. With her godlike power, she has created a black hole like everything bagel that can potentially destroy the multiverse. Evelyn is given verse jumping technology to fight Jobu Tapaki's verse jumping minions, who begin converging in the IRS building. Evelyn learns of Wayman's plans to divorce her and discovers other lives where she made different choices and flourished, such as by becoming a kung fu master and movie star instead of leaving China with Wayman, who becomes a successful businessman. Alpha Wayman comes to believe that Evelyn, as the greatest failure of all Evelyns of the multiverse, has the untapped potential to defeat Jobu Tapaki. Alpha Gong Gong instructs Evelyn to kill Joy to hinder Jobu Tapaki, but Evelyn refuses. Evelyn decides she can save Joy by becoming just like Jobu Tapaki, so she verse jumps repeatedly while battling Jobu's minions and Alpha Gong Gong's soldiers. After the battle, Alpha Wayman is killed by Jobu Tapaki in the Alphaverse, and Evelyn's mind overloads and fractures before she dies. Part 2. Everywhere. Evelyn's mind splinters across the multiverse, and she discovers other bizarre universes and other them at the same time. She goes through universes such as one in which humans have hot dogs for fingers, and she is in a romantic relationship with Deidre, and another where she works alongside a teppanyaki chef who is secretly puppeteered by a ratatouille-like raccoon. Jobu Tapaki finds Evelyn and tells her she created the Everything Bagel not to destroy everything, but to destroy herself, and has been searching for an Evelyn who can understand her. Jobu Tapaki feels that because there are so many vast universes and unending chaos, nothing truly matters. In other universes, the Wangs are about to lose the laundromat due to tax errors. Alpha Wayman is killed by Jobu Tapaki, and businessman Wayman rejects movie star Evelyn after decades apart. Evelyn is nearly swayed to Jobu Tapaki's cause and stabs her universe's Wayman. She almost joins Jobu Tapaki in entering the bagel, but stops when she hears Wayman's calls to be kind and have hope. Evelyn defeats Jobu Tapaki's minions by using her multiverse knowledge to find what is hurting each of them and gives them happiness. Evelyn reaches Jobu Tapaki and tells her that she is not alone, and that Evelyn will always choose to be with her despite everywhere else she could be. Meanwhile, in parallel universes, Evelyn confronts Gong Gong and reconciles with Wayman and Joy, and Wayman convinces Deidre to let the Wangs redo their taxes. Jobu Tapaki initially rejects Evelyn, but returns to her, and they embrace. Part 3, All at Once. Shortly thereafter, the family's relationships and lives have improved. Becky is now regarded as a part of the family. Wayman and Evelyn share a brief but romantic moment for the first time in a long while, and they return to the IRS building on a second chance to file their taxes. As Deidre talks, Evelyn's attention is momentarily drawn to her alternative selves and the multiverse before she grounds herself back in her home universe.
Hell yeah. That was probably a lot to swallow for some people. If you had not seen the movie. Like, hell, it was a lot for us to swallow.
Freaking, I don't know if you were like this way, but the end of Act 1, like when the curtain, because the curtain actually, pulled in, okay, so at the end of Act 1, she's sitting in a movie theater and she's watching these events because it's in one of her other universes. And it says after she dies, the end, and the credits start rolling. And I don't know about you, but I was like very confused. I'm like, is that it? Like, was there only one part of
I
this
know,
movie?
dude. It fooled me so freaking bad.
They did a great job.
Like, it was crazy. Like, they pulled the credits off of everything, and they let it go for a while.
Yeah, they did.
And they were just like playing credits, and then it was like just slowly backing up, and then you realize that you're watching like this movie had to be experienced in theaters.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It had to. This would not have fooled me in
No.
at least not as long as it did.
I just want to know how many people like actually left the theater and like people are just like, the movie's still going. What? No, the credits started rolling.
Oh my dude, it was insane. It was just like the way that it just like slow, like it took so long. They got to like the executive in the middle of the executive producers before they started like panning out, and you realize like, oh, this is part of it.
Yeah.
And that's just a crazy move. Like it's just for me, it was one of those movies you had to experience. It's kind of like The Quiet Place. You have to experience The Quiet Place in theaters.
Kick myself for not seeing not only
Dude,
the first
we can
part
do
two.
it. We
That's
can do
true.
it.
I know we've talked about it, but we just haven't done it yet, and we really need to sit my ass down and do that with you.
Yeah, for sure, dude. It's one of those like if I hadn't waited, because I was going to like if we didn't decide to like break this movie down,
Yeah.
I was actually going to wait until like either you got it or it came out on streaming to watch it, and
Okay.
now I would have regretted that so
As
much.
would I.
Like, oh, that would have aggravated me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like they pulled the multiverse. Like the multiverse is just like a crazy thing right now.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's doing it.
Yeah, like the Flash is going to be doing it when that movie comes out. The MCU's been setting up the multiverse for a while. This movie's like doing multiversal stuff. I'm pretty sure there's another movie or show that's doing multiverse.
I just hope it doesn't come to the point where we're just like, I've already seen this before. I don't want that.
Yeah, so hopefully they get away from that at some point. Like,
I hope
just
so.
maybe use the multiverse very lightly. Like, okay,
Yes.
This movie takes place in a different universe, and just leave it at that. And not try to, like, tie it into, like, the ultimate universe or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But, damn, like, it was a insane movie. So, I think one thing that it kind of, like, glazed over a little bit, to transfer to different universes, you had, or not to transfer, because you could go to like very mildly different universes where it's like you're able to travel to a universe. Like with her, she was at the IRS and she was able to transfer to a universe where she went into a hallway closet, like with no issues. And it's because you can hide out in there because it's like a pocket. Like, it's not much of a minor difference, and the change is so recent that you can hop into those. But what's harder is when you're jumping into like completely different lives. So like she jumped into the world where she became a singer, and she had to like hop from, like, basically transfer all the way back to a decision where she was like had to stay behind or left her husband, and so like it had to like basically transfer her all the way back in time, all just to launch her all the way forward. But it's just interesting how they pull that off, because you have to, like, they keep those memories, or they retain those memories.
Yeah.
Which is an insane concept.
Yes, it is.
But you have to do something like super weird to slingshot yourself, because you can't just handle transferring yourself into that body. Your mind has to be like fully prepared, and doing something like just random enough puts you outside of those like immediate worlds, like it has to be like just so outlandish that you could like transfer out into like this openness like multiverse, and then you can slingshot your consciousness into that like I said, different life or whatever. And so that played a huge part in this movie, and it became so freaking weird.
Yeah, this movie was kind of bonkers. I'm not gonna lie.
So
but in the best way possible.
Like when they were doing that, like one of the things that they were explaining is just like, to make that jump, you have to just like the what was his name? Alpha Wayman was like ate gum from underneath a desk at one point. Yeah, or he had to give himself paper cuts in between his fingers. One. Oh my gosh. Dude, that was so bad.
Yeah. I love how he couldn't get like the last one between his index finger and his thumb. Wasn't that the one that he couldn't get?
Yeah. So watching that was freaking hard because he's trying to give himself a paper cut and he's like, it's just not happening. And then he finally like gets it. And
that comes a close. I feel that and the stunt. And have you seen the first Jackass movie?
Yeah, maybe.
There's a stunt where they're literally in a hotel room one night and they're just bored as hell, so they decide to give each other paper cuts. And so they do it between the fingers, they do it between the toes, and then Steve-O gets it between the lips, like in that opening.
Okay, that isn't as bad as I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say he got a paper. Like he gave himself a paper cut on his dick. And I think
one of them did get it on on their balls.
Nope, gross.
I'm pretty sure. It was either Aaron or Dave, I think.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. The best part though is when after they do that to Steve-O, he's just like, "Man, I'm glad I came into this room to see what was going on. Totally worth it." Being a smart ass.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, that scene comes. I can't decide which is worse. Probably Jackass one. But this one comes a close second to the worst scene I've ever seen with paper cuts.
Yeah, I think it was just because it was so tense.
Yeah,
like he had to do this to obtain, a skill from, like that self. Which what was he trying to do? A gymnast.
That's what it was.
So that was crazy. And then I'm trying to think of like some of the other crazy shit that happened. The way that she was like when she was fighting everyone, she was like trying to obtain this skill and she freaking just snorts a fly. Oh, yeah. That was gross.
Yeah, that was very gross.
Like she just does random shit and it was so funny. Like this what is this movie like considered? Like its genre? Is it considered a comedy? Is this a drama or an action adventure comedy?
Okay, that sounds about right.
Yeah. They play that off so well.
Oh yeah, very much so.
The flow of this movie was just damn near flawless.
Yeah.
And it's hard to like consider like any issues I had with the story. It's just like, okay, well this was weird. It's like, yeah, no shit.
That's the point. It's a multiverse movie.
They had to do weird stuff.
Yeah.
I think where it started to get confusing for me is when they were having like kind of dialogue within dialogue.
Okay, that's fair.
Which that's more of a writing issue than anything. So I'll bring that back up when we get to it. That was the only area where I felt the flow was kind of messed up, but overall it was a super kick-ass story.
Was. Yeah, like from start to finish, this movie was a blast. It really was.
Yeah, it keeps you highly engaged. Keeps you like super entertained throughout all the absurdity that they have, but it makes sense because it's like, hey, even though this technically doesn't make sense, it's in a universe where it does.
Yep.
So you can't say like, well, I thought it was weird that they transferred to a universe with hot dog fingers, and it's like, well, which I will say that one was a tad bit of a stretch for me, but whatever.
Yeah.
Gosh, trying to think of like any like story issues that like. What did you think like overall with?
Honestly, I really don't have any issues with it. Kind of like what you said. If like you ever felt like, oh, that doesn't make sense. That's weird. That's kind of the point. That's what they were going for. Like I said, it's a multiverse movie, so of course, you know, them traveling to different multiverses of themselves is going to feel weird. You know, you can't. I feel the ways that they made up for them to be able to enter other multiverses of themselves, and especially I thought that was like a really great idea of how they're wearing the earpieces. I thought that was a great touch. Yeah, it's honestly hard to find anything wrong with this movie unless you're the kind of person that was just like, oh well, their multiverse travel doesn't make sense, but when you really think about it and look into it, it really does.
I mean,
for the most part.
this is like this being like not a horror movie.
Yeah.
If we were to like throw this into like give it a logic category like we do with horror movies, it follows its own logic really well.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that's just part of the story is it kind of like when it's a normal movie, the logic of the multiversal travel is just kind of part of the story.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, like you said, I think they followed it pretty well. It just did have these very absurd things to it that made it like really interesting. Like, I love that, like, at the end when she, because like, what's her name? When Evelyn is basically about to join Joy's team completely and just be like, nothing matters in this infinite universe. Like, why would you care about anything? She finds something to care about in her husband. Finds the, like, basically just finds the love there. Finds, like, a reignited spark with him. Realizes that how kind he is and how it's just, like, he doesn't want to fight. He wants to like solve things in like a different way.
Yeah.
And it works out really well because like that's how she takes down all of the people going against her. She finds something that they're either like super insecure about or finds something that they just need in their life and gives it to them in some way.
Yeah.
And like I said, with Deidre, in her experience in this like vast multiverse, she finds a universe where they're a couple, and she's just very insecure about like Evelyn kind of falling away from her and like leaving her alone, and then realizes that that's what this universe's Deidre's afraid of. She doesn't like being alone.
Yeah.
And then some of the other like guards that they were fighting, it was just like about friendship or just something that they needed. And like my favorite one was the the Alpha Gong Gong, when he like goes in his like freaking Transformers wheelchair and goes to grab her, and she like instead of giving like doing this thing to show like love like she was doing with all the others, it was more like a hard truth that he just hadn't accepted. And like it took him that like a second to accept it, but he ultimately did, which was great.
Oh yeah.
It was like so like heartwarming to see him do that. And I think the funniest one was the dude that was super into like dominatrix shit.
Yeah.
Like she just freaking like karates him and bends him over and beats his ass. Then he just like lays down. Like, oh my gosh, dude.
I was not expecting to see that in this movie, but
No, not at all. But yeah, just like uses the knowledge. Like, yes, it doesn't really matter in this universe, so it's like that's why Joy was okay with killing, like, because it doesn't matter. But Evelyn found that it does, and was able to like connect them with something that ultimately made those people's lives better.
Yeah.
It was sweet.
Yeah, it was.
It was really sweet. But yeah, I really liked this story. Honestly, I don't think I had any issues with it.
I really didn't either.
Like, it's absurd. It is like beyond absurd at times, but I think that's just a nice character. It just adds character to the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I'm going to be thinking about this movie for a long time.
Same here.
Just like, now when anyone's just like, anytime someone brings up an everything bagel, like, I'm going to be thinking about this movie.
Oh, I love it.
Because it's so funny. She created this black hole of the multiverse because she like wanted to die, or Joy, or the Jobu Tupaki.
Yeah.
Created this multiversal black hole by putting everything on a bagel.
Yep.
Like, literally anything. She's just like, cute dogs, cute dog pictures, freaking like sesame seeds, and like I mean, those were already kind of part of an everything bagel, but whatever. Like,
I'll still give you it.
Yeah, and it's so funny that this thing that starts off like you're thinking it's like a cult, and it is, but like they are like worshiping a freaking bagel.
Yep.
But I think just behind all of this like absurdity, there's like a really nice story between a mother and daughter, and just kind of like reconnecting, learning that life doesn't have to be like completely miserable and worthless. And just like, I think that if you were to like shrink this down into like a one universe story, it comes down to like a daughter in like some sort of depression, and a mother pulling her out of that.
No, yeah, I absolutely agree.
But still, like, I think what was nice seeing it done this way was how Joy was in that hole, and then Evelyn pulled her out, but it wasn't like, yes, there is something, like, there is worth or value in the world, and blah, 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 and, like, you'll find love, and all this other bullshit, like, that normally pulls people out of that, which is, like, crazy unrealistic, but it's just taking that moment to, like, heal and, like, say that I accept you, but these are, like, some truths.
Yeah.
Like, the way that Evelyn was just straight up like, you know what? You are getting fat.
And like, you never call.
Yeah, you never call. Like, you're rude. Like, all this other stuff. But you have, like, this great person in your life, and I want to know her. I want to be a part of it. And, like, it just show, like, motherly love.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to, like it.
Yeah.
But it's there.
Yeah.
And I think what was very important was the acceptance part of it, because I feel like that's part of the motherly love that maybe some people overlook. It's just like, I feel like some people maybe verbally abuse their kids and just say, well, I'm just saying it because I love them. And it's just like, no, you just need to accept them for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, sure, like, if you're concerned about like what she was saying, like, yes, you're getting fat, but it's because I worry about, like, what you're eating.
Yeah. I'm still being caring. I'm just telling you the
it's
truth.
like, I'm sorry you got your feelings hurt. But, like, it's a truth, and I want you to take care of yourself, and, like I said, hard truth, but there's love behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, like, just ultimately, like, I really liked how Evelyn kind of admitted her own faults. Like, and not really justifying her actions, but just admitting her faults.
Yeah.
And just saying, like, listen, I was wrong here, but these are places you're wrong too. So it's like, no one's better than the other.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's like super healthy, but whatever. It's something that could help you.
Yeah.
Like it seemed to work for Joy. So I really liked all of that. Like, all of that stuff. It's just the deeper meaning behind the freaking crazy shit. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty freaking high on story.
Yeah, I would say I am too.
Where are you at?
I'm gonna go 95.
Nice. I was actually sitting at 96.
Hell yeah.
All right, that puts us at a 95.5 for
Sweet.
our story. Moving on over to writing.
Super strong.
It was really good. Like I brought up while we were talking about story, there was it was when Evelyn was kind of revealing the bagel Joy was revealing the bagel to Evelyn, and Evelyn was just kind of like starting to basically be in the same position as her and open up her mind to the universe of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like all at once, everything everywhere, all at once, and
comes
that,
full circle.
Yeah, and that shit. I thought it was weird because I feel like there was a lot of conversations going on, and they were kind of difficult to follow because they would be talking about like it'd be like conversation 1, conversation 2. Then back to conversation 1, and then back to conversation 2, and then they started a new one, and then it was just kind of like, and so it became really difficult to follow.
Yeah.
When this movie comes out on streaming, I'm going to be rewatching this with subtitles.
That's fair.
Just because I feel like there's a lot that I missed. A lot of it was in English. It was kind of mixed between Chinese and English.
Yes.
So I really liked how they like kind of transitioned back and forth a lot, but it did kind of get confusing. So I think having just
basic
subtitles throughout the whole thing will really help.
No, I absolutely feel the same way. That's what I'm going to be doing as well.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm trying to think if like there's any like dialogue that felt funky or anything. What do you think?
No, honestly, I can't think of like any dialogue that felt funky. I mean, maybe sometimes what Jobu it's Jobu, right? Jobu Tapaki.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe some of the things that she said, with like the way that she saw and everything. Maybe some of those lines, but like that's hard for me to even criticize those at all because it made sense to her, and it brought the story. It really added to the story. So honestly, I really don't have anything wrong with the writing. Every character was well written. They all had great dialogue that made sense. Yeah, I really have nothing wrong with the writing.
Yeah, they had like a bunch of funny jokes, some that were like a bit more serious but still like funny. Like it's hard to think just because like it was just so jam packed.
Yeah,
it's hard to like distinguish one one joke. There's one thing I remember laughing my ass off about it, and I can't remember for the life of me what it was.
Was it the when it's Wenwu, right? What was the husband's name?
Wayman.
Wayman. Wow, I'm sorry. Freaking when he grabbed the rocks out of the fish tank and then put them into his fanny pack, and or that added to his fanny pack, because he was beating up some guys with the fanny pack before, but adding the pebbles definitely really helped. That was great.
Yeah. We'll get into it with freaking effects, talking about like the action and everything.
Oh God. Yeah, we definitely got some things to say.
I don't know. I liked they did a very good explanation on how the rules of the multiverse work, and how like transferring your consciousness and basically like getting a download works.
Yeah.
Like if we're using Matrix terms, how getting a download works. It's just the way that they wrote them, because like it's funny because they don't explain it until a little bit later. Like, oh, you need to do the thing that is like the least probable thing for you to do, for you to like slingshot your consciousness into this other world, take their memory and like bring it back with you.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because like they never acknowledge that, and like the first thing he does where you kind of like see this weird shit happening, it's just like the first one you see is Evelyn. They're just like, switch shoes, and then she like switches the shoes, and then she's able to like hop into a different world where she went into the closet.
Yeah.
And then we see Waymond eat chapstick.
That's the one that I wanted. Yeah. God. Yeah, when you pointed out the gum earlier, I'm just like, what was another one that he did that I was just like, ugh, the chapstick one.
Yeah, it's so gross.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the hell is happening? And then he like goes all full ninja, and you're just like, what the shit was up with the chapstick?
Yeah, exactly. It was weird as hell.
It was, but I mean, now that we have that information, it like, okay, it tracks.
Yeah, it makes sense for this universe.
Yeah.
Or this world, not universe.
Yeah, I really liked how they explained why this Evelyn was like more or less the chosen one. It's because she is just the ultimate failure.
Sure, that's great for your ego.
I know, right? Could you imagine? Like, oh, you're just a complete and utter failure, so you are like perfect for this job.
Gee,
great.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Could you imagine, like, in every other universe, you're doing better than you are in this one? That would be such a kick in the nuts.
That really would.
But loved it. Loved every second of it. And gosh, I think my favorite joke with Joy, the one that I can remember. My favorite joke I feel in my heart is with Waymond. But my favorite joke that I can remember is with Joy. And it's when she is like beating the shit out of these cops, and then she's like charging after Evelyn, and she gets shot, and so it like blood spatters all over Evelyn, and she starts like crying and losing her mind, and you're just like, oh no, like I started feeling that way, and then she's just like, hey, just kidding, it's ketchup. And I'm like, ah. Like, could you imagine how hard, like, even kind of like knowing that your child is now like in a multiversal threat? Like, could you imagine the freaking like how scarred you would be?
Oh yeah.
Or the trauma of seeing your child get shot?
Seriously though.
Like, that was nuts. Oh, man. Yeah, other than that, the writing was really solid. Like I said, in story, had some very heartfelt dialogue. I loved, like, when Evelyn was kind of explaining how she views the world and, like, the power that she now possesses.
Yeah.
With her family and everything, and just talking about, like, that life does have, like, some sort of meaning, even though, like, Joy may not view it that way. So, really like that. Really like that. So what you thinking with writing?
I feel writing's just as good as the story. So, I'm going to say the same score, 95.
I'll agree with you on that one. I'll be down at a 95. Just not quite at the same level as story, I'll say.
No, I get you.
All right, next up we got acting. So we got Michelle Yeoh that played Evelyn Wang. Stephanie Su, who played Joy Wang and the Jobu Tupaki. Kehoi. Oh my gosh, I'm going to butcher this one.
I think that would just be Kehu Kwan.
Kehu Kwan?
Yeah.
Okay, he played Wayman Wang. James Hong, who played Gong Gong. Then Jamie Lee Curtis, who played Deidre Bobidra. That is such a cool name.
That is.
it's a freaking weird name, but I love it. Yeah, and I think that those are the main characters.
I would say so. I feel Becky didn't. I mean, she had a decent role to play, but not when it comes to, like, multiversal travel.
Yeah, once they start getting into that, like, she kind of played a part in the beginning, a little bit in the middle, and then somewhat at the end.
Yeah.
So not in it enough for us to, like, fully mention her. All right, top 3. Where are you at?
Number 3. Oh, this is so freaking hard.
Right?
This is so freaking hard. Honestly, I feel so. I'm sorry to say, Jamie Lee Curtis is out of my top 3. She's number 4, and the reason why, what is her name? Stephanie. Is it Stephanie who? Hasu?
Stephanie Su.
Stephanie Su. So she is my number 3, and I feel what really significant or sealed the deal for me was that interaction between her and Evelyn towards the ending, where they literally just pour out everything to each other. And it's such a great scene. Both of them are amazing in that scene with their acting, and especially her. And honestly, throughout the whole movie, she's great. She's amazing. She plays a great villain. And just, yeah, she was amazing. Number 2, I would give to Michelle Yeoh, who played Evelyn. Amazing performance. Absolutely loved her. I actually want to see, like, what else she has been in, because she was so good.
She's actually been in quite a bit. I don't know if she's ever done action before, which surprises the hell out of me.
She was in Kung Fu Panda too.
That's crazy.
Didn't
she was in Crazy Rich Asians.
Wasn't there like a tease, or didn't they, like, show, like, a poster or something of that movie in this movie? I swear they did.
For a yeah, they did.
That's what I thought. Okay,
they totally did.
I'm not losing my mind.
So it was in the universe where she was a movie star. She was in.
That's what it was.
Yeah, they showed Crazy Rich Asians.
She's in
she was in Shang-Chi.
I'm
pretty sure that's the.
Was that the mom?
It might have been the aunt.
Oh. Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay, so take back what I said. She has done action before. Let me just double check. Oh shit, Stephanie Sue was in it.
She was...
Yeah, she played Sue.
I really need to watch Shang-Chi again.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure it was the aunt.
Okay. Yeah, I think that checks out.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She's going to be in basically all of the frickin' Avatar movies, which, how are they all frickin' filming?
Dude, you got me.
Like, Avatar, Way of the Water is in post-production. Avatar 3 is in post-production. What? Avatar 4, filming. Avatar 5, filming. That movie doesn't come out till 2028.
Holy shit, that's far.
James Cameron, you can go to hell.
Does there really have to be 5 of these damn movies?
Shit, she was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Who's she playing?
Alita O'Gord.
Was she one of, that, she was part of that group that, Yondu was part of?
Oh, the original Ravagers?
Yeah, I swear that was her.
You're probably right. She was in The Mummy, Memoirs of a Geisha. Oh. Highly recommend that movie, too.
Crouching Tiger?
No, Memoirs of a Geisha.
Oh, sorry.
Man, she's been in a lot of shit.
Yeah, like, holy god damn.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah, she does amazing work.
Yeah. So
you said number 2 for
yeah,
her?
She's number 2. And number 1, I have to give to Ke-Huy Quan. I'm sorry, I'm butchering this man's name. Who played
Ke-Huy.
Ke-Huy, thank you. Ke-Huy Quan, who played Waymond. Because, oh my god, I loved this guy. His comedic timing was perfect. He hit all of the emotional bits that he needed to. I just freaking love this actor. I loved his character. I loved the way that he portrayed this character. He was just amazing.
This is going to sound extremely racist.
Oh, God.
Have you ever seen Goonies?
No.
Oh, my gosh.
Are you
You're going to ruin this. Okay. Have you ever watched...
Are you going to say that he looks like the adult version of Short Round?
No. No. I was going to say he kind of acts like Short Round. Or whoever that actor is. Like, let me see. I want to see what that actor's doing, actually. Yeah, please hold as I make a fool of myself.
No.
Are you shitting me? It is him!
No freaking way. No freaking way. That... Oh my god, that is amazing. That guy knows how to act crazy. Or put a lot of, motion into his acting. Oh my god. Oh, well, there you have it.
I don't know what else to say.
Well, there you have it. The one guy that we thought acted a lot like, kind of like the older version of Short Round, is actually Short Round.
Short Round.
That was absolutely amazing.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
You good?
Just dying a bit. That's freaking hilarious.
That is amazing. That is so cool.
Dude, I never would have guessed that.
No, neither would I.
He looks so different than he did when he was a kid.
He really, now that I'm like seeing it, I kind of see him now.
I do now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely see it. I was just like, dude, are you kidding me? Come on. That's hilarious.
That is amazing. Oh my god, that is so cool.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, I have the exact same top 3.
Hell yeah.
Nothing real more to add. Yeah, Stephanie Sue freaking just killed it as a villain. Crazy intimidating.
Right?
Just kind of pulled off every universe like version of herself really well. Yeah, then Michelle Yeoh did a masterful job. And we'll get into it with the action, but she pulled all of that shit off so well.
Yeah, she did.
And then, need I say more about Ke Huy Quan? Oh my gosh,
That is just amazing.
dude, that is so funny. That is, oh my gosh. Yeah. So where are you at with acting?
Because even like the extras didn't bring it down. Like Jamie Lee Curtis, I feel did a
I feel she didn't. I feel some of the others did.
Okay. Anyone specific you can think of?
Chad or whoever was the frickin' Ratatouille dude with the raccoon.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah, I think he might have brought it down for me. A couple of the other guards, maybe, or like the one that frickin' was fighting her that did the frickin' butt plugs at the IRS building.
I remember.
Which, for those of you who are not familiar with this movie but chose to listen to this anyway, a couple of the multiversal guards were trying real hard to shove a freaking butt plug up their ass to obtain some sort of skill.
And they were successful at it.
They were extremely successful at it, and it was hilarious.
Like, yeah, like it wasn't the fact of them like putting it in their hand and trying to show this. Probably TMI. This wasn't like them trying to just grab it and then shove it up their ass. No, they were like jumping over obstacles and just trying to land it right into their asshole.
And they were successful.
Very. Ow. That's all I can say to that is ow.
Alright, so where are you at with acting?
I'm going to go 92.
I'm actually going to go a bit lower than you.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go 89.
Okay.
I'm just not quite there.
Yeah.
Like I said, the actors are the extras were the ones that brought it down, but the main cast did incredible work.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll get into it with effects. Character development. So
this was super good as well.
It really was. So I'm assuming you did Evelyn?
Yes.
Same here. Oh, her story was just great. She seems like a woman that's like really stuck in her life, has all these aspiring dreams that she just never fulfills in any way, shape, or form, and is living this somewhat miserable life.
Yeah.
And then she gets the opportunity to become more. And she almost rejects it at first. Like, she tries to. She's just like, I don't know who the hell you think you're talking to, but I am not, like, super cool or anything. Like, I can't do shit. And basically just unlocks her potential with being able to access all of these different realities. Because she has, like, she's a big dreamer. And those big dreams just kind of never went anywhere. So it's like if she made the choice to do one thing different, she has all of these different skills to pull from. Unlike, I think, a lot of other of the multiversal travelers. Like, I think they may have only had, like, a couple dreams at a time, and just so that, like, those are the only skills that they're able to, like, land on.
Yeah.
It feels like she was able to jump, or to go travel, like, to crazy different worlds. Like, with Waymond, it seemed like he had one where it's like martial arts, but and then, like, that was one reality that he jumped into, and then another reality where he was a gymnast, and I think those were the only ones that Alpha Waymond ever jumped into, right?
I'm pretty sure.
So, like, those all just kind of were very, like, similar, and it's just like, okay, he could have gone this way, but they're just kind of in the same field.
Yeah.
With her, it's just so vastly different. Like, she had, like, a kung fu reality. She had a freaking pinky kung fu reality, and acting, singing, and all of these other different realities to pull from. And just made her, like, a better hero for it. But ultimately, it led her to, like I said, like, the deeper meaning behind this is just, like, the connection that she got from her, or with her daughter.
Yes. Just great to see.
Yeah, getting to see, like, the multiverse and how everything is in those worlds, and just, like, using that experience and the admiration I feel she has for Waymond, and then just uses that to teach her daughter a lesson, to just kind of pull her from the darkness in her life.
Yeah.
Which was great, because she had, at the same time, she had to address the darkness in hers, in talking to her father, and just dealing with all that stuff, and realizing that maybe kicking people's ass isn't the right way to handle things.
That's true.
Like, especially with everyone telling her, like, oh, this person can't be reasoned with or talked to, and she just kind of proved them all wrong. Like, they can.
Yeah.
Like, you just kind of have to have the ability to listen or care. And it's just a sweet message overall.
Yeah. It really was amazing character development.
Yeah, I still wouldn't put it up, like, ridiculously high.
That is fair. Do you feel if it was like do you feel the multiverse traveling, did that affect your character development score at all? Do you feel if it was just like basically just her and dealing with her family, especially with her daughter's relationship, well, and her husband's as well, do you think that would have maybe increased it more? I mean, haven't even said the score yet, but you know what I mean.
Right. That's a good question. Actually, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think that the traveling between realities was too detrimental to the overall score, just because it's still her.
Yeah.
It's just she's pulling experiences from these other worlds.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think that's where I'd be at.
Okay.
It's not like she kind of used that traveling and those skills to help her to become more than what she was.
Mm.
And basically unlocked her ability to travel between the multiverse. So, yeah, I don't think it affected it too much. Because ultimately, it just led to accepting her daughter for who her daughter is.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Like I said, pulling her daughter from the darkness while facing her own, and because she had to face, like, it's not okay for, like, because she was so afraid of or Evelyn was afraid of what her father was going to think, and, like, oh, this is just her friend, and then she, like, kind of faced that head on and was just like, this is her girlfriend. Like, basically, like, pulled her in and everything. It just kind of showed, like, I accept this, and it doesn't matter if you don't.
Yes,
I do. Like, kind of that situation, which was kind of big. It was kind of, like, really big.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, we see her struggle with the, like, looking into the everything bagel.
Yeah.
And kind of just accepting, or kind of, like I said, entering that darkness of, like, the world, like, life has no meaning. But I don't know. I liked where her story went. I wouldn't quite, I'm not quite in the 90s with it yet.
I'm not either.
I'm definitely in the high 80s, though, because I do feel it was really good. So, I'm thinking maybe 87?
Okay.
Where are you at?
I honestly might match you on that, because I literally had I had some problems with her character development, but overall, it's not a basic story, but it's a nice story about this mother finally coming to terms with her daughter, accepting her daughter, and then moving forward with that, and just really understanding each other, and also her, appreciating what life that she was given and making the most out of it. So I loved it.
Alright, so 87. I don't know if I said it for acting, but acting averaged to a 90.5, and character development is averaged to an 87. Alright, moving on over to effects. These were crazy.
These were freaking bonkers.
I really liked the scenes where you could kind of see the cracks within the multiverse when they were like side by side.
Yes, like the whole like face features.
Yeah.
Like there was like one face in each dimension. Like it was like glass. Oh, so cool, glass effect.
Yeah, loved that. Everything looked really good, really realistic. Which I feel like some movies, when they go crazy on blood, tend to go on the unrealistic side.
That's true.
So it was kind of nice to see them take a more realistic route. And not go super crazy, but I think what makes this movie stand out as much as it did is the freaking action.
Yeah, absolutely. How did you feel about, because the raccoon was definitely not CGI. That was absolutely animatronic.
Yes, that or stop motion at least. It was not.
Yeah,
great.
It wasn't great. I would have honestly preferred a stop motion raccoon if it was gonna look like. I'm sorry, just the movements looked way too. What's the word?
Robotic.
Yeah, it did not look like a real raccoon.
Yeah, I agree. I think once you got into the multiversal stuff, it started getting a little convoluted with the different effects.
Yeah, I would agree.
Especially when it came to certain motions, I think the freaking hot dog fingers, as stupid as they were, they looked fine.
Oh yeah.
Or trying to think of what else. Oh yeah, the freaking raccoon. And I think it got a little bit weird when they were jumping on each other's shoulders, or their heads or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That kind of looked a little bit funky, just not quite realistic, but yeah. Yeah, those were the only real special effects that I can think of. So I mean that brings it down a little bit.
Yeah.
But action, you can't argue. The action was incredible.
So good. That moment where she's literally going up the staircase and fighting those goons and doing what makes them happy. So well executed. The action is amazing, and I love that it's all in slow-mo. That was awesome, and yeah, great scene.
Yeah, it was so good. My favorite fight though was the one between Waymond and Deidre. I want to know how much action, if any, Jamie Lee Curtis did.
That's fair.
Because you could see her face through a lot of it.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of the, I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I think like in the new Halloween movies, I think she actually does a lot of her own action.
What, laying in the bed?
Well, okay, in Halloween 2018, she does get thrown around a lot by Michael.
Okay, fair.
At the end.
Jeez, like, dude, she's a boss.
She really is.
Her and Michelle Yeoh, like, they're insane.
Yes, they are.
But they looked so good, and it was just, and I think it stood out because I could see them. Like, it wasn't like any hiding. It didn't feel like, oh, can't see their face now. Like, you could see their face through a lot of it.
Yeah.
And like Waymond, you could see like a majority of the time. Michelle, you could see, and then Jamie Lee. Like, I was just like, I feel like I'm seeing like a lot of her. Like, especially with some of the crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like when she's coming, like, I loved how how her just body language changed when she like was accessing the memories of like the pro wrestler.
Oh yeah.
And she's just like standing up straight and like fully gonna do like the breaking the bat move. Freaking nuts.
Yeah, that was a really smart call by Waymond to freaking grab that exit sign and put it behind his back.
Yeah. That was crazy. Like, yeah. Probably some of the best kung fu karate action I've seen in a movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't really watch a lot of kung fu movies, so I feel I can't fully say if this is like some of the best that has ever been put on screen.
It's up there for sure.
It is? Okay, that's awesome.
It feels like it. I don't watch a lot of it either. So, I mean, I don't have a crazy big reference to draw from.
Yeah.
But it's just how grounded the fights felt.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like super crazy, like where they were like flipping them like across rooms or anything. Like, they did.
Yeah.
Like, Waymond was definitely throwing people across the room, but it made sense.
Yeah.
Like, how far they were going. Nothing felt like superhuman.
No, that's fair.
I mean, hell, even the fight in the smoke, the tear gas fight that they were having.
Oh yeah,
that fight was nuts.
That was badass.
It was so well done, so well done. It's hard for me to think of anything to like critique other than the special effects.
Yeah, right.
Like, truly thinking about it, I'm in the lower 90s. I think I'm like 93. Like, the action was just so good. It did, and like even like one of the big special effects was the donut. And when they like brought the donut into the world and it started like sucking stuff into it.
That was a bagel.
The bagels, that's right.
I was like,
what was I saying?
Donut.
The donut shit.
Pretty good, man.
It's basically the same thing.
Hold the phone. No, it's not.
It looks like the same thing.
Only one you should put cream cheese on. The other one would probably taste kind of gross with cream cheese.
I think cream cheese is just gross.
Alright, I guess I'm leaving tonight.
Yeah. I think with acting, because like I said, action was so good.
Do you mean effects?
No, the act or the fighting was really good.
No, you said I think with acting.
Oh, son of a bitch,
Are
dude.
you okay?
I'm freaking struggling.
Are you okay?
I don't know. With the effects, I feel like the action was super solid. And that was like the high point of the movie. The special effects needed some work on certain effects. Yeah. Others looked really good. I feel like the everything bagel, like black hole looking shit, looked incredible. So I had no issues with that one. So I think just docking for the issues that I had, I think I'm down to maybe like a 92.
Okay. I'm going to go for a 91, and the biggest reason why is I'm sorry, because that raccoon. That just...
Fair enough.
Yeah. That is the biggest problem I have with these effects.
All right, well, that averages us out to a 91.5.
Not bad.
All right, next up we got music, which this one's tough.
I mean, I feel it did its job for what they did, but, like, nothing is really, like, sticking out from what I remember in the movie.
I feel like the score was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, it I'm trying to see if they had, like, let's see if they had, like, a crazy soundtrack or anything, because I'm pretty sure they didn't.
They don't even have any tracks listed. Or one track. Claire did it.
Okay, well, that was less than helpful. Yeah, well, I mean, regardless of whatever you want to say about this movie, I feel like the score was pretty strong. It wasn't like top notch or anything. There wasn't any music that stood out to me. Like, I don't know if they even played any like modern like music, right?
No, as far from what I see on like Amazon Music.
It's just all music that they had for the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like This Is a Life, Wang Family Portrait, Very Busy. You know, I love how the fourth track is very busy.
Right.
So.
Then I think for me, just because I did really enjoy the score, I think we're going to set like a 7.
I was thinking the exact same.
All right, well, that averages us out to a 7. Next up, we got costumes, which, this being a multiversal movie, were killer.
Yes. Oh my god, I forgot her name.
Joy?
Yeah. Her costumes as, God damn it, what's her villain name?
Please hold. Jobu Tupaki.
Yes, all of her costumes that she wears as that character, freaking incredible. Costume designers on this movie, you guys freaking killed it, and makeup, honestly, as well. You amazing. Oh my god.
Yeah. This isn't a movie I feel like you could recognize easily the silhouette. Just because...
Fair enough.
I mean, it's like a lot of different dresses, but yeah, the variety alone was just incredible.
Yeah.
All of the costumes looked so freaking good. When, like, you could tell when Evelyn was switching universes, like, so easily. And it's not just because, like, they were more successful than her.
Yeah.
It's just, you could tell with, like, everything. Like, you could tell in, like, the makeup or the hair or just anything. Like, it was just how vastly different it was. And, yeah, like, the costumes that Joy was wearing were awesome.
Yeah. So good. So good.
So, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm going 10 with costumes.
I can absolutely agree with that.
All right, last up, personal grade.
Okay.
You want to take this one?
I would love to. So overall, this movie was amazing. I did not expect to enjoy this movie as much as I did. Honestly, the only thing that I had heard about this movie was the whole, like, how, like, they had, like, a multiverse thing going on, but that was literally the only thing that I had ever heard of. I never watched any of the trailers for this movie, didn't know who was in it, and I'm actually really glad that I didn't know basically anything going into this movie, because this is one of the biggest surprises that I've walked out of for how much I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. A lot of fun. Acting is incredible. The costumes are incredible. I just had a freaking blast with this movie. So I'm gonna go a 92.
Nice. Well, I'm with you. I had only ever seen the first trailer. Just heard that it was multiversal, stuff and just was like, in. So I didn't watch any of the other trailers that they released for it, but yeah, I walked out loving this movie. I cannot wait to watch this again. With subtitles. And yeah, it was so good. Like action alone, I'm going to be rewatching it.
Fair enough.
It's an incredible movie. It's a really well done, well thought out, and a really deep movie. Like when you break it down from the craziness.
Yeah.
So I might be a little bit higher though. I think we're going to be in like 94 area. I really enjoy this movie. All right, well that averages us out to a 93. So the final All Bros letter grade for Everything Everywhere All at Once has come to a...
I can't really drum roll one-handed. Sorry.
Forgot. It's come to an A-.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, definitely not bad. Which is exactly where Doctor Strange was.
Hey, there we go. I love it. That's awesome.
It's not very often that we've gotten 2 in a row like that.
That's true.
Alright, so A-. So it is sitting at a 91.56%.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, not too bad at all. So that places it 0.1% below the Batman.
Okay.
I'll just do the score. So it's below the Batman, which is at a 91.62. It's below Logan, which is at a 91.81. It's below Our Friend, which is at a 92.12. It's below Never Be Done, which is at a 92.21. And then finally it is below The Eternals, which is at a 92.25. So, not even quite a full percentage away from Eternals, but it's around that same area. But it puts it above. So, like I said, Everything Everywhere All at Once is at a 91.56, which puts it above Coco, which is at a 91.4.
When you're about to start a riot.
It is above Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which is at a 91.20.
Did you freaking slide away from me?
No.
Oh.
If I did, I didn't mean to.
Oh, I thought like it was just going to be like, oh, I know Rose is about to break out in rage over Coco, so I want to be away from him.
Yeah. It's above Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is at a 91.1. It's above How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, which is at a 91. And then it is above Spider-Man Far From Home, if it is only the Untrained Eye and Crash and Taz score, which is at a 90.9. I love bringing that up.
It's so fun. I would love to see them tackle No Way Home together. That'd be amazing.
That'd be really interesting. Or hell, freaking Doctor Strange. That'd be a fun one for them to freaking discuss.
That's a great one.
Ideas, gentlemen. And then just because I want to do or finish on one that's like ours, it's above Turning Red, which is at a 90.87.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so that one is actually that's not even a full percentage either. Like, it's crazy. Like, to get a full percentage away from Everything Everywhere, you have to go 9 movies up.
Damn.
Yeah, everything else is less than a full percentage. So the movie a full percentage away from from Everything Everywhere is Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and then go in the opposite direction. To get a full percentage, you need to go down 11 movies.
Damn.
Yeah, right? So a full percentage, like downward from Everything Everywhere, is 1917.
Shit.
That's wild.
That is very wild.
Like I said before, our margins are so freaking close.
Yeah, they really are.
So I love when people like complain about it. They're just like, "What? This movie's not better than this one." Yeah, but it's like point something %.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I guess I'm like, if you round, they're basically the same score.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I think where this gets kind of like iffy is when you're comparing, like a lot of these are very like action heavy movies. The ones that I just kind of like listed off. I think where you start getting a little bit more like iffy, like, oh, that doesn't sound right, is like when you start comparing like the Joker to A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Yeah.
Two completely different movies on complete different ends of the spectrum.
So true.
Or even freaking Pulp Fiction from Encanto. Like,
I can't believe I forgot that Encanto was that high.
yeah, like if you
I
ask someone
love it,
like,
though.
what's better between Pulp Fiction or Encanto, like that's really hard, I feel, to answer.
I'm sorry, I'm saying Encanto.
Okay, I didn't say it's hard for you.
Well, I'm sorry. I guess my opinion doesn't matter, guys. I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's just it's funky because like if you can compare like Pulp Fiction to Joker. I feel like that you can make that comparison all day long.
Absolutely. I mean,
But
Joker's better. But that's my opinion.
Comparing freaking Joker to Encanto, like it's like, okay, which one's the better movie?
I mean, depends on what audience you're shooting for here.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I love our system because
Yeah.
it's like just percentages away
Yes.
from each other. But anyway, so like I said, Everything Everywhere All at Once is sitting at a 91.56%, which puts it at an A-. So, hell yeah. I want to see how many. So out of 29 A- movies, Everything Everywhere ranks at 14.
That's not bad.
Right?
Literally halfway. Or
Yeah.
like in the middle, not halfway, I'm sorry. Directly in the middle. Wow.
Yeah, I want to see where it ranks with everything.
Ooh.
So Everything Everywhere out of 181 movie. Wait, we're missing some.
I was gonna say.
Oh, it's probably those empty ones that we haven't scored yet.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, damn, we can't get a good number then, because we're missing some. I wonder if I can just kind of use a freaking shit ton of movies. Okay, out of 177 movies that we have scored on this podcast, this ranks at number 18.
Damn, that's good.
Yeah, that's
really
not bad.
good.
It's not bad in the slightest.
No.
Anyway. So yeah, that's where it's ranked right now. So that concludes this week's breakdown. If you like this episode and want to listen to more of our stuff, be sure to follow and subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. We are basically everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, RadioPublic, Radio.com, Spotify, and more. You can also catch all of our episodes on YouTube, as well as we don't make bonus videos. We'll work on it. We'll work on it. Be sure to follow us on social media. You can hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah.
All at the All Bros. You can, if you want to, hit us up with an episode idea. If you want to answer our question of the week, which we haven't posted in like months.
Yeah, we're really bad at that.
Yeah. We'll get better about posting more often and trying to get like some engagement.
We promise.
Yeah. We're working on it. But yeah, if you want to join us for an episode, we would love to have anyone on. You can also check us out on our website, tinyurl.com/theallbros, where you can find links to everything that we do. Freaking TeePublic went and took down another design of mine.
Oh, what do they take down now?
Birds of Prey.
Oh my good lord.
Yeah, you know how long ago we did Birds of Prey?
Seriously, and that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, freaking hookers. But yeah, so if you don't want to go to our website, you can also email us at theallbroschannel@gmail.com. And yeah. So next week, we're probably going to be breaking down the bad guys. I think that was our plan.
Yeah, I think
so. Was it the bad guys?
I think so.
I think it was the bad guys.
If, just as a safety net, if that doesn't work out, do we want to break down Chippendale Rescue Rangers?
Yeah, we can break down Chippendale.
Okay.
Yeah, so depending on how it works out, it'll either be Chippendale or it'll be the bad guys.
Yes.
But until then, this has been the All Bros Podcast. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we'll catch you guys next week. Deuces.
So long.